Hello friends, welcome to class number 2 of oscillation chapter. In the previous class, what we discussed? We first classified the motion and we understood in this chapter what actually we'll discuss. Then second is, we also derived the most important oscillation equation. Simple harmonic motion equation. What's the equation? You must have remembered it. D square y by dt square plus omega square y is equal to 0. We derived this differential equation and also we found its solution. Y is equal to r sine omega t. Y is equal to r sine omega t. So this is the equation, r sine omega t. This is the most important equation, also called as the equation of SHM. And in this equation, you have to understand the different terms because we have just taken it like this. In the previous class, I had not told you what is omega, what is r. I have not told you anything. Only you know that y is the displacement and t is time. But in today's class, we'll understand what are the different quantities involved here. But again, we'll derive this equation again. But how? Previous class we have derived it from the differential equation. But today we'll derive doing one analogy, doing one comparison between simple harmonic motion and SHM. Then the question is coming to your mind, simple harmonic motion, and circular motion, uniform circular motion. We'll do the analogy between simple harmonic motion and uniform circular motion. The question is coming to your mind, SHM and circular motion, there is some relation between them? Yes. That one I am going to explain you today. And from that relation, we will derive this equation again. So now let's do the comparison between simple harmonic motion and uniform circular motion. So now see, this is suppose circular path. I think this is a perfect circle. Good. A body now is moving in uniform circular motion. Just recall, what is uniform circular motion? When body moves in constant speed, velocity cannot be constant in circular motion because direction changes. When body moves with constant speed in a circular path, then that is called as uniform circular motion. Okay, so one body is here. Body of mass m is at point A initially. Suppose the body is at point A. If the body is at point A, let's draw one perpendicular. This is the center of the body. This is the what? Diameter. The line passes through center is the diameter. Let's draw one perpendicular from A to or on the diameter. To the diameter. Let's draw a perpendicular. Or we can say that projection. Projection, or we can say that foot of a perpendicular. Let's draw one perpendicular from A. So it will draw a perpendicular where it will touch? Obviously at O. It will touch at O if I draw a perpendicular from A to the diameter. O means center. I have kept the point, I choose the point like that. I told you, you can say projection of A is O, or you can say foot of a perpendicular from A to the diameter is O. Foot of a perpendicular or projection. Or I can say simply, suppose you will just keep a torchlight here. Keep a torchlight here. Okay, keep a torchlight. Switch on the torchlight. When the torchlight will fall on A, then its shadow will fall on O. Three things I told you: foot or perpendicular, or projection, or like this shadow. So now see, the body is moving like this, anti-clockwise direction, uniform circular motion with constant speed v. So when the body moves like this, body is at A, projection is at O. When the body goes to B, body is at B. Where is its projection? I'll draw again one perpendicular to the diameter. Let's draw perpendicular to diameter. I hope I'm correct. So this is the perpendicular. So this is the perpendicular. So let's make this point as C. So when body is at A, projection is at O. So let's write here. Body, here write body, here write projection. Projection. When body is at A, projection is at O. When body is at B, projection is at C. Projection is at C. When body is at D, body is at D. Then where is the projection? That point itself is the projection, because not required to draw, because that is already on the diameter. We are taking the projection on the diameter, that's already on the diameter. So DD. When the body comes to E, body comes to E point. Then where is the projection? When body comes to E point. So now see, the body is at point E. Projection, I know you already got the answer. So projection means I will draw the perpendicular from this side to the diameter, because projection we will see only on this diameter. On this diameter. So its projection is O. If you are thinking the answer O, then you are correct. Then body comes to F. Projection like D. If F is already on the diameter, so its projection is also F. So now you see one thing. One complete circular path is now complete. No, it's not complete. Again the body will come to A. Because after A, the body will come to again A. Then projection will be O. Now one complete circular path. But you see this important thing. You try to understand here. Body is moving like this in circular path. But in circular path. But it's a projection. Projection moves on the diameter. Projection moves on the diameter. And you mark their motions. How the projection move. Projection first move from O to C. You see here, I am showing in this blue marker, you see. O, then C, then D, then again O, then F, okay, then again O. Means it is going like this. Mark it. It is going like this. O, C, D, O, F, O. O, C, D, O, F, O. Like this. Means how the projection moves. Projection moves on the diameter. But body moves on the circumference. Body moves on the circular path. But projection moves on the diameter. But have you marked the motion of the projection? Again you see, projection is going up, down, up, up, down, up. So projection execute which motion? Which motion? To and fro motion. Again more particular, simple harmonic motion. The projection executes simple harmonic motion, it oscillates. Simple harmonic oscillation on the diameter. So that means, what's your conclusion? But before going to conclusion, again I am showing to you this one. Let's take this black marker as the body, this blue marker as the projection. How they move, you see. Black marker here body, and this is the projection. Black marker now move, simultaneously the blue marker also move, see. black marker moves in circular path, but blue marker moves in execute which motion? SHM. Black marker moves on the circumference, but blue marker moves on the diameter and execute SHM. Only blue marker you see execute SHM, but black marker moves in circular path. I hope you understood. First, the analogy between uniform circular motion and simple harmonic motion. First, the analogy. In one sentence, we conclude. When a body executes uniform circular motion, then its projection on any diameter, not only particular this diameter, on any diameter, its projection on any diameter execute simple harmonic motion. When a body executes uniform circular motion, its projection on any diameter execute simple harmonic motion. Again, to clarify, we'll do more comparison. See, circular motion and SHM. In circular motion, this point O behaves as which point? What is this O? Center. In circular motion, O is center. But in projection motion, in SHM, this O is what? This O is what? About which the body moves. That O is called as mean position. O is called as mean position. And these extreme points up to which the body maximum moves, they are called as extreme position. These two are called as extreme position and this is called mean position. Another thing, you see, when the body moves in circular motion, this OA distance or this OD distance, this is what in the circular motion? Must you are telling the answer, sir, this is radius. This is radius. But which quantity that radius play the role of what in SHM? In SHM, this is the mean position, this is the extreme position. Means the projection maximum move from O to D. From the mean position, if we calculate the displacement, displacement is maximum from O to D. Maximum displacement from the mean position on either side. On either side, maybe that side, maybe this side. So maximum displacement from the mean position on either side is called as amplitude. We'll discuss now everything. Called as what? Amplitude. So radius is same as amplitude. So these are the two analogies between circular motion, uniform circular motion, not only circular motion, uniform circular motion and SHM. So what role center, this O point play the role of a center in circular motion, that O point play the role of a mean position for SHM. This play the role of radius, but this same distance play the role of amplitude in SHM. So this is the analogy between uniform circular motion and SHM. So now let's see. I told you after doing the analogy between them, then we'll derive the equation of SHM again from this analogy. Very simple. Okay, very simple equation we can able to derive from here in very simple way. From differential equation it's little complicated, but here it is very simple way. When the body moves from A to B, then it describes some angular displacement. This is the angular displacement. Right? This is the angular displacement. We have already read in circular motion. So this is theta. Angular displacement. When the body goes from A to B, then theta is the angle described here. Angular displacement. Theta is the angular displacement, but in SHM if you see, the body moves from, when the body goes from A to B, in SHM the body goes from O to C. Projection goes to from O to C. O to C means this is the displacement. This is simple the displacement from the mean position y, and its maximum value is O to D, which is called as amplitude. Okay, O to D is called as amplitude. The maximum displacement on either side of mean position is called as amplitude. So this is the A to B theta in circular motion, but O to C displacement in SHM. So if this is theta, then this is also theta. Alternate interior angles, you know. Then this one O to B, so this is the radius. Let's write the radius as small r. O to B, this is the radius. Okay, now let's see. Now use the equation, use the sin theta formula in triangle BOC. In triangle BOC, sin theta is how much? Sin theta is how much in triangle BOC? How much is the sin theta? Sin theta is equal to OC divided by OB. Then OC is what? Y. OB is what? R. So Y is equal to R sin theta. But theta is angular displacement. If omega is angular velocity, then there is one relation. Omega is equal to theta by t. You must have remembered this. You have read in circular motion. Omega is equal to theta by t. So in place of theta, I can write here omega t. So y is equal to r sin omega t. You got your equation? So this equation we have derived in the previous class. Okay. So the same equation also we derived from here. The equation of SHM. But the actual equation, in actual equation of SHM, so this is y is equal to r sin omega t plus or minus phi. This is the actual equation of SHM. We'll go to that. What is this, from where I got this phi? What's the role of this phi? I'll go to that. But this is the actual equation of SHM. Let's first discuss the displacement, velocity, acceleration, energy in simple harmonic motion one by one. First discuss. First is the displacement, but displacement already you have done. So this is the displacement, but displacement already you have done. Y is equal to r sin omega t. So in this displacement, so displacement then varies with omega t. Increase, decrease, increase, decrease. Displacement changes, increases, decreases, increases, decreases. Repeats its motion. For that we have taken the help of periodic function sin omega t. Just recall, I have told you in the previous class, in this chapter we will take the help of periodic functions sin omega t, periodic function. You can also write in cos form, no problem, in cos omega t form. So here displacement varies with omega t. So now you are interested, so let's draw the graph for displacement. Okay, now let's draw the graph for it. So y and omega t, we have to make a table. Omega t and y, we have to make a table. So omega t 0, pi by 2, then pi, then 3 pi by 2, then 2 pi. Then when omega t 0, y is 0. Omega t pi by 2, sin pi by 2 value is 1. So y is plus r. Then pi, again 0. 3 pi by 2, this is minus 1. Sin 3 pi by 2. So this is minus r. Again 2 pi, again 0. Means these are the points now. Let's draw the graph here. If you draw the graph, let's draw the graph. Take omega t here, take y this side. So the graph obviously will be sine graph. If you know the sine graph, You must have picturized in your mind what graph I am going to draw. Pi by 2. This is pi. This is 3 pi by 2. This is 2 pi. So points you put 0, 0. Suppose this is plus r. Let's take this one as plus r and this one as minus r. Pi by 2 plus r. Point is here. Pi 0. Point is here. Point is here. 3 pi by 2 minus r. 3 pi by 2 minus r means point is here. Then 2 pi 0. 2 pi 0 means point is here. So how the graph will be? Let's join the points. The graph is like this. This is the sine graph. Is the question coming to your mind? Sir, you choose 5 points. So you should join the points in a straight line. Is the question coming to your mind? That, sir, why you are not joining them in a straight line? Means the graph should be like this? No. Actually, I choose only few points. 0, pi by 2, pi. But between 0 to pi by 2, there are also many angles are there. Between 0 to 90, many angles are there. 10 degree, 20, 30, 40, 50, many angles are there. I told you the graph will be like this. If you don't believe me, then for all angles you find the points. From 10, 20, 30, 40, for all angles you find the points. And you put them and draw the graph. But you already know the sine graph is like this. We have taken only some points, but if we take all points minutely, then you will get the graph like this, not straight line. Don't join it like this. So this is the variation of y and omega t. But what is the maximum value of y? I have already told you. Maximum value of y, you see from this table, this is plus r and minus r. So y maximum, I will write y maximum plus or minus r, which happens in extreme positions. This is mean position, displacement is 0 at mean position because displacement is measured from mean position. Then at extreme position, displacement is maximum plus or minus r, which is called as amplitude. Then what is the definition of amplitude? The maximum displacement from the mean position on either side. The maximum displacement from the mean position on either side is called as amplitude. It can be plus r, can be minus r. If one side will take plus r, then other side we have to take minus r, only to show that opposite direction. Otherwise plus minus has no meaning. Don't take it more or less. So this is about the displacement and amplitude. Now we'll move to speed or velocity, we can say. No problem. Now move to speed. Let's see what happens in speed. So let's discuss about the speed of the body which execute as such. We got y, r sine omega t. How will find speed? Very simple. In kinematics, you know, derivative, do the derivative once, derive it. Now do the derivative once, you will get speed. Once do the derivative to displacement, you will get the speed. Now let's do the derivative. Already have done also this derivative in the previous class. This is r. Sine omega t derivative is cos omega t. But 1 omega. Why 1 omega I have told you in the previous class. I don't want to repeat it here. So r omega cos omega t. This is the expression of speed or velocity. But we can also simplify it more. See how I can simplify it more? Cos omega t, from this triangle you can put cos omega t, again from BOC triangle. What is cos omega t? Let's find from there, or we can directly put it here. Cos omega t is nothing but C, BC by OB. But what is BC? BC, if you use the Pythagoras theorem, r square minus y square root over divided by OB is r. OB is r. I left one omega here, omega. This is omega. Okay, I will have drawn omega here. Got it? So OB is R. So then R cancel. So this is omega root under R square minus Y square. This is also the expression of V in terms of displacement. And this is the expression of V in terms of omega t. Table most required. We'll make table. Now we'll make table. Omega t versus V. 0, pi by 2, then pi, then 3 pi by 2, then 2 pi. 2 pi. So 0. When omega t is 0, see what is the value of V here? Omega t 0, then V is cos 0 1, so plus R omega. Then omega t pi by 2, see cos pi by 2 is 0, then pi minus 1, so minus R omega. 3 pi by 2 again 0, then 2 pi cos 2 pi is again plus 1, so this is plus R omega. We'll draw the graph. Must we'll draw the graph. So now let's come and draw the graph here. To draw the graph, take V in this axis and omega t in this axis and V here in this axis. Pi by 2, then pi, then 3 pi by 2, then 2 pi, 2 pi. Okay, this is omega t. 2 pi. Put the points 0 plus R omega. So you make a plus R omega here, make minus R omega here. Minus R omega here. So 0 plus R omega means when omega t is 0, this is plus R omega at this point. When it's a pi by 2, then it's 0, means the point is here. When pi minus R omega, pi means minus R omega means here. 3 pi by 2, 0. Here 2 pi plus R omega means here. Join the points. How will join? Straight line? No, not straight line. You join them like this. Cosine curve. The curve will be a cosine curve. Okay? So this is the graph of speed versus omega t graph. We can say also velocity, no problem. So here, what is the maximum value of a velocity? One thing you mark here, velocity is not constant, always varies. Velocity also oscillates like displacement. Velocity also oscillates, its values also oscillate between what is the maximum value of a velocity? Plus R omega and minus R omega. So velocity oscillates between plus R omega and minus R omega. Velocity also oscillates here like displacement. You see here at mean position. At mean position. Mean position, what is the value of displacement? At mean position. Mean position displacement is 0. Here displacement is 0. Because we will calculate displacement from mean position. So 0. If y is 0, what is the value of v? Omega, then r square root over, because y is already 0, r square root over is plus or minus r. So I write this plus or minus r omega. Plus or minus r omega. But at extreme position, see, at extreme position y is equal to plus or minus r. Then the extreme position y may be plus r, y may be minus r. You put it there. So r square minus r square, when r put here r square, so cancel, then v is equal to 0. So what you got here? Where the velocity is maximum, we got the maximum value plus or minus r omega, but where the velocity is maximum? At extreme position or at mean position? Velocity is maximum at a mean position. Velocity is 0 at extreme position. Don't take this minus sign as a less. Minus sign, plus minus only indicate opposite direction. And here velocity is 0 at extreme position. That means the concluding line is, when one body executes a system, its velocity is not constant. its speed is not constant, always changes. Speed or velocity also oscillates. That also oscillates with time, with omega t. And it's a maximum at mean position and zero at extreme position. Just I'm showing to you. I told you, I've shown this homemade pendulum. This body execute SHM, homemade pendulum. This is which position? This is mean position. And this is extreme position. See, mean position and extreme position. So extreme, I leave. When it pass through the mean position, it pass with a maximum velocity. See here. But at extreme, its velocity is 0. At extreme position, velocity is 0. It changes its direction there, direction of motion. But when it pass through mean position, this is mean. Always it pass through the mean position with maximum velocity. See, this is the mean position. Pass the mean position with maximum velocity. But at extreme position, its velocity is 0. This is the extreme position. Velocity is 0. But one important thing you mark. Sometimes the question comes in exam. Write the example of motion. Or is it possible? Displacement 0, but velocity maximum. Is it possible in motion? Displacement 0, but velocity maximum. If possible, you note this question. Displacement 0, velocity maximum. Is there any motion exist? What answer is coming to your mind? Because the answer is in front of you. Displacement 0, but velocity maximum. This happens when a body executes SHM. Simple harmonic motion. At mean position, displacement 0, but velocity is maximum. So this is about the velocity of the body. Next, what will move? We must find acceleration. Again, now the acceleration part is coming to your mind. So must find acceleration. Let's do acceleration part. Acceleration. Acceleration. How we will find acceleration? Velocity we got r omega cos omega t. To get acceleration, derive once, do the derivative once. If you do the derivative once, then we will get acceleration. dv by dt. So r omega cos omega t differentiation is sine minus sine omega t into again omega. So it's coming minus r omega square sine omega t. So this is the acceleration equation. But again we'll write it in form of displacement. See, minus r omega square in place of sine omega t, what I'll put here from here, sine omega t sine theta, what I'll put again OC by OB, OC by OB. So that is y by r cancel, it is coming minus omega square y. So this is the acceleration, minus omega square y. Your condition of SHM is valid here, you see, because we have started our motion from that condition. Acceleration is directly proportional to negative of displacement condition satisfied. Okay, also in between middle also we are checking whether we are in condition or not. Okay, so this is the acceleration. Let's draw the table, then the graph, then we'll find acceleration in different positions. So let's draw the table now. To make the table first. Here omega t, here acceleration 0, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. When omega t 0, here acceleration 0, omega t pi by 2, so this is 1, so minus r omega square, so pi 0, 3 pi by 2, it's a minus 1, minus plus r omega square, it is 2 pi 0, omega t and acceleration. Now let's draw the graph. Let's draw the graph here. Pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi, this side omega t, this side acceleration. Okay, 0, 0, right? Pi by 2 minus r omega square, take 1 point minus r omega square, take 1 point plus r omega square. Pi by 2 minus r omega square, pi 0, 3 pi by 2 plus r omega square, 2 pi 0. We'll join the points. Now, let's join the points. Let's join the points. The graph is like this. So, this is the variation of acceleration with omega t. Now, see, in different positions, what happens? At mean position, at extreme position. So, let's see at mean position what happens. Now, let's see at mean position. So, at mean position, what happens? Y is equal to 0. Y is equal to 0. If y is equal to 0, then what about the acceleration? 0. At extreme position, what happens? Y is plus or minus r. If you put plus or minus r here, then acceleration will be what? First plus r. If you put plus r, then here minus sign is there, so this will be minus. Then if you put minus r, here minus minus it become plus. So omega square r. Hope you got it. When plus I put plus minus, it become minus. When it is plus r, it is minus. But when it is minus r, it is plus, because minus minus become plus. So when y is plus minus r, then acceleration is minus plus omega square r. Minus plus omega square r. Why this is happening? Because acceleration and displacement are in opposite direction. That's why this happens. From the starting I told you acceleration is directly proportional to minus y. That's why this happens. So this is the acceleration. Means acceleration is also not constant. It also varies from point to point. And it's 0 at mean position, because in mean position there is no change in velocity. The body move, velocity is not changing. You see, the velocity is changing maximum at which point? The velocity is changing maximum at which point? When velocity changes, then the acceleration comes. At mean position, it is just pass. Just the velocity. You see, mean position, it pass like this. No change in velocity, it pass. But what happens to extreme position? You see extreme position. When the body goes to extreme position, velocity direction is there to that side, but now the velocity becomes 0 and it changes its direction. When velocity go like this, velocity changes direction. When velocity changes the direction, then change in velocity will be maximum. Direction changes there. Change in velocity is there. So acceleration comes and acceleration is maximum. So acceleration is maximum at which position? At extreme position. And acceleration is 0 at mean position. Means acceleration also varies harmonically. Acceleration is also not constant. That also varies harmonically. Again another question is coming here. So check here. I am writing at a mean position, velocity maximum. We know at mean position, velocity maximum at mean position. See here, this velocity is maximum, and at extreme position, velocity is 0. See, velocity 0, but acceleration maximum, velocity maximum, acceleration 0. Again, one question is coming here. What question, if possible, you note? Write any example of a motion, or is it possible? Right? Is it possible? Velocity 0, but acceleration non-zero. Is it possible? Velocity 0, but acceleration non-zero. The answer is in front of you. Velocity 0, but acceleration non-zero. When one body executes simple harmonic motion at extreme position, velocity is 0, but acceleration is non-zero. Not only this, you have also another example from kinematics chapter. When you throw a body in upward direction, When you throw a body in upward direction, at the highest point, velocity is 0. From where it return back, at the highest point velocity is 0, but acceleration is small g, means maximum. Also you have that answer. That is also one example, and SSM is also another example of that. So now you got how the acceleration varies with omega t. Let's find the energy when the body executes SSM. Let's find this energy. Energy, let's find. When the word comes energy, then mechanical energy particularly will do here, means kinetic energy and potential energy. Two type of energy, mechanical energy, kinetic and potential. So let's write what is this kinetic energy? Half mv square. Kinetic energy of the body. Velocity varies, means kinetic energy also must vary. Now put kinetic energy half mv. You can put the expression v in terms of omega t. That is r omega cos omega t square. So it's coming half m r square omega square cos square omega t. You can write the kinetic energy like this. How kinetic energy varies with omega t? Also kinetic energy varies here. See. Also you can write this again kinetic energy also in terms of a y. If I will put in place of a v, the expression, which expression? That omega root under r square minus y square, then do the square. Because v square, this is the expression of v. For v, I have given you two expressions. Okay. So half m omega square, then r square minus y square. This is also kinetic energy. This is also kinetic energy. One is in terms of displacement, one is in terms of omega t. Then also write potential energy. Potential energy. What is potential energy? Here in the body when returned back, you know the force is proportional to minus of displacement, just like the spring. F dash proportional to minus y, just like the restoring force you have read in solid chapter. So what's the potential energy? Half k. Spring potential energy, same potential is also here. Half k x square. So here we'll write half k y square. We are taking the displacement at y. Then what is k? Just recall, in the previous class I have given you one expression, omega square k by m. In the previous class we derived this condition at last, omega square k by m, that is required here. K is equal to m omega square y square, m omega square y square. So this is the potential energy. We can write it also in form of omega t. Let's also write, because we have written kinetic energy, means also we'll write this one. Half m omega square, in place of r you put r sin omega t, so this is r square sin square omega t. This is also potential energy in terms of omega t. This is the potential energy in terms of displacement, and this is the kinetic energy in terms of displacement. Let's calculate total energy. When you do total energy, kinetic plus potential. Let's find the total energy. Kinetic energy plus potential energy. Omega t term you can add, no problem. Very simply you see here, when you add sin square omega t plus cos square omega t is equal to 1. So half am r square omega square, here half am r square omega square. What answer will remain? So again, also you can add this term with this term. You can add also this with this. If you add this here minus y square, then plus y square, m omega square, you add it, and how much you get? Half m omega square r square. This is the total energy expression. What you see in total energy, Is there any omega t term like kinetic and potential? No. In total energy, is there any displacement term like kinetic and potential? No. Means total energy is not varying with omega t, and displacement means total energy is always constant. Total energy is always a constant. Energy conservation is now proved. So that means what happens? When kinetic decreases, potential increases. When potential decreases, kinetic increases. But total energy never changes. Means energy conservation also valid. If the question come, prove that in SSM energy conservation valid, you will just calculate the energy. You will show the total energy, and at last you will write as total energy is independent of omega t and displacement, so it's a constant. Always constant. So how this energy varies? Again, come to our green apple pendulum. See here how the energy varies. Here, extreme position. What's the velocity? What's the velocity? 0. Velocity 0 means here kinetic energy 0. No velocity. But mean position, here velocity maximum means kinetic energy maximum. Here kinetic energy is 0. So here 0 maximum, again 0. But what happens to potential energy? Just it's the reverse. Potential energy, just it's the reverse. So here kinetic energy 0, but here potential energy is maximum. Maximum displacement. So maximum potential energy. Here potential energy is 0, here it is maximum. That means here kinetic energy is 0 at extreme position, but potential energy maximum. So you can see also from this mathematically. See here at mean position, what happens to kinetic energy? See, at mean position you can put it here, y is equal to 0, so it's maximum half m omega square r square. What happens to potential energy? Potential energy. So at mean position I told, okay. At mean position, see, y is equal to 0, so potential energy is 0. Mean position, here y is equal to 0, so this becomes this, and y is equal to 0, so potential is 0. What about total energy? You add them, you will get this much. Again at extreme position, at extreme position. What about kinetic energy? Extreme position means displacement is plus or minus r. So displacement plus or minus r means r square cancel, so it's 0. But what about potential energy? Plus or minus r, so square is there, so it becomes half m omega square r square. So when you add them, you will again get this much. That means at mean position, kinetic energy maximum, potential 0. At extreme position, kinetic energy 0 and potential energy maximum. Let's also draw the graph. Yes, as we are drawing the graph for all other quantities, why we leave energy only? Let's draw the graph. So, but here the graph will draw like this. This side will take displacement. This is plus r position, this is minus r position. Extreme positions, this is the mean position. At mean position, kinetic energy maximum and potential energy 0. But at extreme position, kinetic energy 0. So kinetic energy becomes 0. So first let's draw kinetic energy. Kinetic energy maximum here at mean position and 0 at extreme position. So graph will be like this. And the potential energy is 0 at mean position and extreme at kinetic position. Extreme at extreme position is maximum. Extreme position is maximum. This maximum value is half m omega square r square. So at extreme position, its maximum is this much. So point will be here. Plus r position and energy is this much. Point will be here. So graph will be like this. Got my point? So this is the which energy? This is potential energy and this is kinetic energy. What happens to total energy? It's always a constant. It is always constant. So this line is the total energy. This line is the total energy. Total energy. This line. Okay. Hope you understood how the energy varies with displacement as well as with omega t, but total energy never vary. But one important question always comes in exam from here. What's the question? Right. At which position kinetic energy is equal to potential energy in simple harmonic motion? Understood the question? At which position, write it, kinetic energy is equal to potential energy in simple harmonic motion. You pause the video here and solve it. Pause the video here and solve it. After that you see the answer. But now you pause the video here. Hope you have done. You completed this answer. Now let's see whether you have done correctly or not. Very simple. Only you remember the formula, put them, then work over. Kinetic, I told kinetic energy is equal to potential energy in which position? Always remember, you remember the formula, all numericals you can able to solve. Half m omega square, this is r square minus y square. Just recall, potential energy half m omega square y square. Okay, now you see the expressions. Now I just equalize them. Then what cancel? Half m omega square, half m omega square, half m omega square cancel. Then r square is equal to here 2y square, or y is equal to r square by 2, or here y square is equal to r square by 2. Then y is equal to, what I will do? Y is equal to, I will take root over of it. Root over means here plus or minus, because two positions generally come. Y is equal to plus or minus r by root 2. This is the answer. When the displacement is plus or minus r by root 2 from the mean position, then only the kinetic energy is equal to potential energy. So this is the how energy varies in simple harmonic motion. Then some other quantities left. Now let's discuss time period. You already know this in circular motion, but in SHM what is time period? Time taken to complete one oscillation is called time period. Note it, time required to complete one oscillation means what? Extreme position. Now start the motion. One oscillation complete. Now we'll move like this and come one oscillation complete. See, one oscillation. Okay, so time taken to complete one oscillation is called as time period. Capital T symbol will write time period, unit is second. Okay, frequency. Then come to frequency. Frequency symbol is nu. Some books will find F, some books will find M. Frequency. What is frequency? The number of revolutions, that is in circular motion, the number of revolutions in unit time. Okay, no, but here the number of oscillations in unit time is called as frequency. You see, in 1 second how many oscillations it do, that's called its a frequency. And the frequency formula is, any symbol you can use, 1 by t. Reciprocal of time period, it's very simple. But why it is 1 by t? Because in t second, how many oscillations? One oscillation. T second, one oscillation. So in 1 second, how many oscillation? 1 by t. 1 by t oscillation. Okay. So means this is frequency. In 1 second, how many oscillations are there? That is called frequency. And its unit is hertz. Second inverse, hertz. You can write the unit like this. Frequency, number of oscillations per second. But one question is coming to my mind here. Students sometimes confuse between oscillation and vibration. Just I am telling to you from this frequency. Oscillation and vibration, what's the difference? Think it. Think it. Pause the video and think it. What's the difference between oscillation and vibration? I am telling you the answer. When the body do oscillation or do motion with less frequency, then that is oscillation. But when it executes to and fro motion with a higher frequency, then that is called vibration. Frequency higher, vibration. Frequency lower, oscillation. Can you say pendulum execute vibration? No. Pendulum execute oscillation. Tuning fork execute oscillation? No. You are telling tuning fork execute vibration. Means when the frequency is higher, then we say it's a vibration. When the frequency is lower, we say it oscillation. So oscillation with a higher frequency is called as a vibration. Very higher frequency. It's called as vibration. So this is the difference. Okay. So now come to another quantity, angular frequency. Angular frequency is omega. The product of frequency with 2 pi is called as angular frequency. Product of frequency with 2 pi is called as angular frequency. Remember this one. Already also you know in this circular motion. Still I am telling to you, product of frequency with 2 pi is called angular frequency omega. In the equation, this term is there. And at last, the very important term I am coming now here, which is most important. Remember it clearly. Phase. What is this phase? I told you the expression R sine omega t. You understood all the quantities here. Y is displacement, R is amplitude, omega is angular frequency, or you can say angular velocity. T is time. But what is phase? What is phase? This term is called as a phase. This is a new word for you, which is most required in class 12 to understand properly. This word, this quantity is phase, but I have written here plus or minus phi. The whole is called as phase. What is there with the sign term? Whole is called as phase. This is the general equation. Now, what is actually this phase now? Let's come. Understand properly. Suppose a body now start the oscillation. One person start the oscillation of a body from this position, start the oscillation. The body oscillates. The person start the oscillation and move away. And after some time, after few seconds, after few minutes, the person want to know what is the status of the motion, what is the state of the motion, where the body is, what is going on. The person asked, what is the situation? Suppose when the person asks, the body is here. At that time, the body is here. At that instant, the person wants to know what is the situation of motion. Then you told the body is here. How you will explain to that person about the position of motion? How you explain to that person? How you explain? You will tell that suppose this distance from this displacement is 2 centimeter. You will tell that the body is 2 centimeter from the mean position. Then the person can able to understand. The question will come to the mind of that person. If you tell, sir, the body is at a distance of 2 centimeter from mean position. Which body you have done the oscillation that is now at a distance of 2 centimeter from the mean position when you ask me. That the question will come to the mind of the person whether 2 centimeter this side or 2 centimeter to this side. Because in both sides also 2 centimeter, 2 positions are there. The answer is coming to your mind. So you will tell plus 2 or minus 2. You will tell plus or minus so that that person will understand. Okay, that person will understand if you tell plus 2 and minus 2. This side plus 2, suppose this side minus 2. But that body execute how many oscillations already? Where the body will move? Where this body will move? When the body is here, the body may go to this side or may come to this side. Where is the direction of a motion? Okay, you told the position, telling plus 2 or minus 2. But where is the direction of the motion? How that person can able to know? You will describe. You have to describe a lot to that person. But all the solution will be done by this quantitative H. Phase, remember, write the note. Phase is the quantity which determines the position and the direction of a motion in SHL. The quantity which determines the position and the direction of motion in SHL. Everything will be solved by H. Do you want to know? Now see how it is solved by H. So phase means we will measure it in terms of 2 pi, fraction of 2 pi, or in fraction of a time period. Fraction of a 2 pi or fraction of time period. Suppose the one body oscillate from here, go to this position, again come to this position, now come to this position, again come to this position. I am showing like this, but it oscillate in one line only, but I am showing it to show the different positions. So here if we take what is the T time period, complete oscillation, I show you one complete oscillation. This is one complete oscillation. So this total time is T. When this point comes, the time is T, and at this point time is 0. Then here at this position it is T by 2. At this position it is T by 4. At this position it is 3T by 4. Now got it? So if this is 0, this is T by 4, this is T by 2, this is 3T by 4, this is T. This is called as H. One oscillation complete, so this is T. Also you can write in terms of pi. This is 0, this is 2 pi. This is pi. This is pi by 2. This is 3 pi by 2. You can also write the phase in terms of pi. But this I show you for one oscillation. For one oscillation, the different phases: 0, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi, 0, T by 4, T by 2, 3 T by 4, 2 pi, 2 T, capital T. So phase is measured in terms of T. Then the question is coming to your mind, sir, now you tell how that person will understand where the body is. See here, now, see here. Suppose that body, in one oscillation complete, the body complete T time period. Now I will tell the phase is equal to, suppose 3T. The person asked and I told the phase of the body is 3T. The person immediately understood how many oscillations your body completed. 3 oscillations completed. Means body is where? At a mean position. Body starts from here. That body is where? At mean position. Where the body will go? Initially where the body goes, because that person know where is the direction of initial motion, because that person has started this motion. So initially this direction. Got it? This direction. The body will go. Suppose you tell, no sir, you are just telling like 3T. You tell some fraction amount like this. Suppose I tell the phase is equal to, now suppose 3T plus T by 4. Means what the person will understand? The body completed 3 oscillations and phase is T by 4 means where the body is? Here the body. Or T by 8 means body will be here. T by 8 body will be somewhere here. T by 4 means body is at extreme positions, body will come here. Means already completed one part, T by 4 over, means body will come here. You can also write in terms of a 2 pi this one. Phase is equal to what? 2 pi, I'll tell 6 pi. 6 pi means divided by 2 pi, 3 oscillations completed. Then 6 pi plus pi by 2 means this position. 6 pi plus pi, suppose I'll tell 7 pi. Means 6 pi plus pi. 3 oscillations completed, then the body is at mean position. So as it cover pi, the body will go there. No problem. So this is phase, and in this equation, this term is the phase. This term is the phase. Phase determines the direction as well as position of motion of the body. This phase which is measured in terms of either fraction of time period or fraction of 2 pi. Again the question which coming to your mind, sir, what is this pi? What is this pi? So I am showing to you. See here. This is the pendulum. Here the body, if the start the motion from here, okay, so this is 0 phase, pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, the 0, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. But when the body here, suppose you start the counting, you start the stopwatch now here, the body when is here. If the body is already here, then what is the phase? Pi by 2. Means at time 0, body is already at pi by 2. Already at pi by 2. Means body has some phase when you start the stopwatch. Time 0, body is here, no problem. So phase is 0. But when time 0, you start studying here, start the stopwatch here, body is here. Means already the body do pi by 2 motion. Pi by 2 phase is here. So it has some initial phase. When time 0, still the body has some phase, body starts from here. So that called initial phase. This phi is called initial phase. Sometimes we write it as phi naught. Sometimes we write it as phi naught. So initial phase. And this whole is called as a phase. Omega t plus or minus phi. And when time 0, then phase is equal to this phi. Or phi naught I can write. Phi naught. And initial phase of the body is called as epoch. You must have listened this name. So initial phase of the body is called as epoch. E-P-O-C-H, epoch. So understood? What is this phi? This is the initial phase. But what is the requirement of that? If two bodies simultaneously oscillate, you see. Two bodies oscillate simultaneously. Suppose these are the two bodies. You can able to mark 0 phase, pi by 2, 3 pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. They simultaneously oscillate. What is the phase? 0, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. What is the phase difference between them? Phase difference, again another word comes. 0 phase difference. Phase difference is 0 between them. But suppose one body is here, black marker is here, but blue is here. When you start the stopwatch, this is the situation. Means this is at 0 phase, but this is at how much phase? Pi by 2 phase. So for this black marker, for the black marker, if I write the equation, see, for the black marker, if you write the equation, then it is y is equal to r sin omega t. But for blue marker, if you write the equation, r sin, this is y, y already I have taken, so r sin omega t plus pi by 2. Plus pi by 2, see. Black marker is at 0 phase, but it's already at a pi by 2 phase. For blue marker, this is initial, it has some initial phase. This blue marker. But this black marker is at 0 phase. We now start the stopwatch here. At time 0, this is at 0 phase, but this is pi by 2 phase. So this is the equation. You understood what is the initial phase now? It has some initial phase, but it has not. This is the phase difference between them, pi by 2. Another word also you listen here, when it is plus pi by 2 means it already start the motion. First it start the motion, but it is still not going. We tell that this blue marker leads the black marker by a phase difference of a pi by 2. Blue marker leads means plus pi by 2. Start the oscillation from the first when it is here. Black marker leads the blue marker by a phase difference of pi by 2. Leads, remember the word. Also you can tell black marker lags the blue marker. Lags. Leads, lags. In wave chapter, these are very much required. when you compare two oscillations. Two oscillations you compare at a time. The blue marker leads by pi by 2 h and black marker same lags. This leads, this lags. It's go forward. Means after some time what will happen? When it comes to pi phase, it will now go to pi by 2 h. Now this come to pi phase. Its oscillation is already done. Pi phase, don't take it 0. This is pi phase, this is pi by 2 h. When it go to 3 pi by 2 phase, it come to pi phase. When it come to 2 pi phase, it goes to 3 pi by 2 phase. So always a phase difference is maintained as a constant here. That also may or may not constant. Okay. Again, more complications there. We'll discuss later. So hope you understood what is phase, what is the phase difference, what is the initial phase, what is the requirement of a phase, and we will discuss the analogy between circular motion and SHM today. Thank you.